The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
This term, committed non-monogamous couples. So they're committed to each other, but when you start using terms like that and open relationships, are we primarily talking about sex?
We're talking about primarily a physical sexual thing with 1, 2, 3, or more partners, however many you guys decide to have in that group, right? So the difference is, opens up the door for a very important conversation between the difference between monogamy and infidelity, right? Monogamy means everybody knows who everybody else is sleeping with. Infidelity or cheating means somebody's keeping a secret, right? These open relationships are about being pushed towards that person who your partner says it's okay to do. Infidelity is about feeling like you're being pulled towards this forbidden person that you can't have. Two totally different things.
Two things. Number one, you're in an open relationship and your spouse becomes pregnant. I hope it's mine. I'm just asking because it's a legitimate question. And number two, what if in the open relationship you bring back a sexually transmitted infection into the relationship? Those are very practical concerns, are they not?
They are extremely practical concerns. And what I've found is that the couples who are openly in open relationships, that is a deal breaker. The deal is you are going to be 100% protected at all times, because in the event something like that happens, now you've broken the trust. Now we're talking about infidelity because now you're keeping a secret. You're doing things outside of this relationship. Marriage used to be primarily about economic arrangements. Now in this day and age, especially in this country, it is strictly about a romantic arrangement. We're trying to find happiness, and I deserve to find that in any way I can. Now, what people in openly committed relationships will tell you is that I want them to be happy, and I understand that I can't possibly meet all of their needs and wants on a day-to-day basis. And if what they're needing and wanting sexually is something different from what I'm offering, then I'm okay with that, getting that over there with someone else. And I know that it doesn't diminish me or make them appreciate me any less in the process. It's a very adult, a very mature, a very emotionally mature conversation. But a lot of couples are able to have it, and they're finding happiness.
Well, I would suspect if you're even able to have this conversation with your partner, you've opened up communication that a lot of couples will never get to. And I guess that's why in the study, trust was actually higher in open relationships and jealousy was lower, because when you have trust, if you feel like you know what your partner is doing and you're not having to worry about that, I guess that would all make sense. Before we let you go, the one thing, though, to address, which we haven't, which is, okay, so if you have higher trust, but in the study, you're less satisfied and not as happy, what do you say towards that? Well,
happiness is an internal thing, right? The problem with relationships is we define ourselves and our happiness through how that thing is going, or how our job is going, or how people see us. We have all these external reference points where happiness is something that you find inside, and it's as simple as a choice. And in open relationships, you have to realize that my responsibility is not to make this other person happy, but it's to help them find it in whatever way they can. And this trickles down to the whole family, guys. One of the big questions that comes up is, can kids be healthy in a relationship like this? And they absolutely can. If the parents in the house are open and healthy and happy and trusting and caring, and the kids feel that, then they're going to be healthy. Once they start to ask questions, as they see that we do it different from the kids down the street, then you have that open conversation and say, listen, kids, we made the decision that worked best for us. When you become of age, you're going to have to make the decision that works best for you, and we're going to support you either way.
I wonder, though, if that differentiation about happiness and satisfaction is because what you already pointed out, there's so much stigma around this. I mean, the number we got was 4%, but you're citing 15 to 20% of people are actually doing this. And so maybe there's a big disconnect in terms of people feeling satisfied or happy, because even though they're more trusting and they feel more secure in their relationship, they feel like it doesn't meet everybody else's expectations of what that relationship should be. And that's what's impacting their sense of happiness.
Well, and I think, as you always say, Dr. Ish, a relationship is a unique thing between two individuals, and you have to figure out what's best for you. Drew, you've been in a marriage now for how many years?
Guess what? Next week, 33 years.
Pretty impressive.
You know, I was sitting here
Dr.
thinking
Batra?
about that, and I made it without you, Dr. H. It's a miracle.
And Dr. B, you've been married how long?
Almost 15 years I've been married, yeah.
Nice.
And Dr. Travis?
Time to go to break. Dr. H, thank you, sir.